Hi, friends. Phoebe Trotman here. Thank you so much for joining us and with Bursts of Brilliance. So the reason we wanted to hop on here is I wanted to introduce you to the amazing contributors of this book, Never Quit on a Bad Day. So every day we're going to be meeting with one of the contributors and just a chance for you to get to know them a little bit, the person behind the pages. So if you're watching this live, go ahead and drop a 1 and let us know where you're watching live from. If you're catching the replay, drop a 2 and let us know where you're watching from. And first of all, thank you for being here and joining us in this fun Meet the Contributors kind of series. And so today I am with Chapter 8 contributor, Scott Pospichal, and I'm so honored and grateful. Scott, thank you for saying yes. Thank you for sharing your story. You guys, I remember the first time I met Scott, we were actually at a leadership business training event and some mutual friends connected us. And Scott just has this energy that the moment you meet him, first of all, he lights up the room. And the moment you meet him, you can feel his energy, his enthusiasm, his positivity, and his love for people. And since that moment that we met, we've been connected on Facebook, and I love everything that he posts because he is such an inspirational guy and leading and helping people. And he is a guy that leads by example. And so, Scott, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for saying yes. And welcome to Bursts of Brilliance.
Phoebe, it was a very easy yes. I mean, had you asked me if I could volunteer, I would have volunteered, So I do remember meeting you in Dallas, Texas, and with Jordan Adler. And, I've always been enamored by you with your abilities to articulate what you want to do. I love the fact that you played at an elite level as an athlete with soccer, or as Ted Lasso would call it, football. And I love that show, by the way. And but no, you're someone that has a what I call a gravitational pull. People want to be around you, and I'm one of those people that really enjoy being around you. So thank you. I appreciate the kind words. My mother would be thrilled that you said those things.
Well, you are an exceptional human being. So I guess you sort of answered my first question, was going to kind of be along those lines. Why did you say yes? Like when I reached out to you with this vision for this book, why did you say yes?
Well, Phoebe, I look at us as people that help change people's lives. And, if you'd asked me to help move a refrigerator, I probably still would have said yes, not with as much joy to do it, but I knew what you were putting together had to be something special to help others. And I don't think it's ever unfashionable to not want to do that. And so me saying yes to you is real easy.
Oh, thank you. Well, it is a book that's changing lives. The feedback and reviews have been phenomenal, and we're just getting started. So what are your overall thoughts of the book? I know one of the things I'll let everyone know is when I asked the contributors to participate in the book, they shared their story and they saw the reflections on resilience exercise at the end of the chapter. However, they didn't see the overall book until the overall book was finished. So partially the reason I did that is I wanted them to experience it in some ways as everyone, you guys watching and listening in, what you would experience. So they only had a snippet of their own story, and then they got a chance to read through the other stories and really have the book, which he has there. You're the best, Scott. Yeah. So what are your overall thoughts of the book? Now that you've had it, you've had a chance to read through it.
I think when I spoke with you, and then I got an opportunity to see who was in it, it's very humbling. It really, honestly, truly is. When you look at it, you see the other people that have agreed to, partake in helping you with this book. It was such an honor, right? And I know some of their stories, and when I look at the front page and I see Vanessa Hunter, she's just an iconic lady, right? And to hear, to know her, see her, Steve Schultz, Jordan Adler, all these people that you've seen or this is something that I don't think it's just. This book is not just network marketing. This book is life. This is life. I could get emotional today because I think as we go in life, we go through things, and every now and then something we go through is not easy. And you go in and you read a chapter or you read a part of a story that just and makes you go, come on, you can do this. you can fight through this. They're not asking me to do something that no one's ever done before, right? And
Mhm.
so I think this is a life lesson book for most every person in every walk of life,
Mhm.
because life is going to throw you a fastball chin high every now and then, and it's going to hit you.
Mhm.
And what you do with it when it hits you uh, always determines who you really are.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something too I should mention is no one knew who else was going to be in the book. And so that just meant so much to me that everyone was just willing to say yes without necessarily knowing who else. And then it turns out that, yeah, some of your best friends are in the book as well too, which is super cool. So
Right.
other than your chapter, what other chapter kind of jumped out to you and why?
Well, Steve and Jordan, um, I think in life, God gives you a handful of people. And I mean, it gives you a bunch of people, but there's that handful of people that if you had something great to talk about, you would call them. If you had something sad to talk about, you would call them. And these are guys that I've known um, dating back to 1994,
Mm.
and to this day are still, uh, still my brothers. And
Mhm.
sitting in a cigar bar in Phoenix, Arizona, with Jordan Adler, talking about you and your successes, um, being with Steve Schultz. I know their stories. I know how hard they work to help others. And I think what I get from this is, and again, I said it before, you're going to get hit in life. You cannot escape the dark challenges of what will come at you. But I think it's how you prevail
Mhm.
and how you continue to walk forward. And people go, how's life at 62? I'm 62 years old. And I always say, I'm doing great for a guy with gray hair and a really good attitude. And
Mhm.
it keeps me wanting to walk forward, Phoebe. It really does, because, you know, somebody asked me the other day, I'm going through a little challenge. And I said, let's say I have 20 great years left. I live to be 82. I'm not 40 anymore. I'm not 25 anymore. I'm not, 50 anymore. I want to live my best life. So I have to carry this with me. I have to carry the stories in here for me to be able, when I'm not that strong, to go into this book and read a chapter and say, okay, you know what? Let me read what this person says right here, and it's going to help me. I'm telling you, this book right here is going to help so many people. I don't care whether you're an athlete, a coach, a doctor, a lawyer, a landscape. I don't care. Single parent, going, whatever. This book will help.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Scott. And that's really what the goal of that book, the book is it is for everyone. Because as you said, life throws us curveballs. We all experience it. And the goal of this book is just to help give some tools, ideas, strategies, let people know you're not alone in it. And here are some things and ways to help you work through those challenges when they do hit you. And so I appreciate you sharing that, because I was inspired as the stories kind of come in, just reading them and just going, oh, wow, I didn't realize that that person went through something so heavy and how they were able to move through it. And it just gives you those tools really to push through. So let me ask you this though, when you are having one of those, just sometimes maybe not like a super low day, but just something hits you and you're like, what do you do to change your state? Like, do you listen to music? Do you go for a walk, work out? Read, like, what is there anything that, because part of this burst of brilliance is just a short little snippet, but I'd love for you just to share something that you might do that helps change your state if you're going through a little bit of a moment when our energy kind of gets low. How do you pick yourself up?
I say this all the time when somebody calls up and complains about something to me, or, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm going, damn, really? Um, when one of the blessings of life is getting older. Now it comes with a hell of a price to pay, Phoebe. As you get older, things happen, and you see people not do well, um, and I kind of look at it and say, are we talking about stage 4 liver cancer?
Mm.
Are we talking about losing someone you love? Are we talking about, you know, being evicted? I mean, there's so many things that can happen to people in their lives that are horrible. And so when I'm faced with the challenges that I'm faced with, I look at it, and I saw this, a guy was speaking, and he said, when you pray to God for patience, do you think he gives you patience, or does he give you an opportunity to be patient? And so I don't argue. I mean, I've taken argumentative ways out of my life. Um, uh, when you, I don't know, just when you have these things that come at you, I think we have choices,
Mhm.
and we can sit there and let them destroy us. And it's okay to be hurt for a while. There isn't anything wrong with suffering. It stinks, but it makes us stronger. But I think you go surround yourself with a group of people. And for me, when I'm struggling, I have to talk, I might have to talk to someone. I might
Mhm.
have to pick up the phone, Phoebe, and call you and say, this has never happened to me. What do you think?
Mhm.
Because I want to get help. And I think a lot of times where people fail is they don't ask for help.
Mhm.
They don't reach out. They don't have somebody that they can call or go see that they can truly 100% trust.
Mhm.
And you, Phoebe, and I as well, me as well, we've been blessed to have people around us that we trust, that
Mhm.
we can call. And so a lot of times I do. I will call somebody up, and it's a small circle, but I always find help
Mhm.
there. So, and I keep going back to your book, Never Quit on a Bad Day. When you ask me, what about you? What about, quitting on a bad day? It just took a while. And then all of a sudden this story popped up in my mind, and it was like, oh my God, that was the day. That
Mhm.
was the day that if ever I should have quit. But I'm so glad I did.
And I'm glad you didn't too, because out of that, that's where, as you said, character and strength comes from when we push through those tough days. And I'm with you. I love that you shared about reaching out to someone, because you're right. A lot of times we don't ask for help, and there's people out there who love us, who want to help us. So if you're watching this and you're going through a tough day, reach out to someone that you trust. And I always say, and it's funny, we talk about this in the book, is reach out to someone who's been through some stuff, because if you reach out to someone and they haven't gone through some of those challenges, it might be hard for them to be on the other side and to be able to say, hey, you know what, I know you're going through a rough time right now. You will be okay. This is not the end. This is just a valley. We're coming out on top, and they can share a little bit of that insight of what they've gone through as well too. So last question for you, and then we're going to finish off with a fun little game. My question for you is, knowing what you've gone through in life and where you are now, if you could speak to your younger Scott, what would you tell younger Scott? What would be a piece of advice you would give younger Scott?
Don't waste as much time, because time is something we never get back. Um, I always, people say, oh, you got to go live, you got to go enjoy yourself. Um, Phoebe, I was married for 33 years
Mm.
before I went through my divorce. And when I look back in my time as I was married, um, I was the guy that every Saturday morning opened the gym up and we played pickup basketball. Every afternoon, Saturday afternoon, I went and played golf. Every Sunday we played basketball at 1, and I played golf at 1 and played basketball at 6. Um, I spent a tremendous amount of time not making money. And when financial stress hits a family, it's, there's only a couple things that are really going to tear things apart in your house, and money happens to be one of those too. And I think that there were times I wished I could have worked harder, I could have done more to help people. And so I would think valuing your time and making the most of your time would be number one. um and number two, just, you know avoid trying to be a jerk. In life, people like nice. When you really think about it, it's so much more enjoyable to be around someone that's nice. um you could look across and see the most beautiful girl in the world, and then she opens up her mouth and she's mean or she's a jerk, and you're like, ooh, no. Kindness, gratitude. I need a pair of shoes, a Nike pair of shoes. I'm a shoe guy. And I put on the back of them the word grateful.
Mm.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the life that I've been allowed to live. And I'm grateful for the friends I have. So I would say having a grateful heart, just, treating people a whole lot better, being that person, and then, just, being a better worker. Because, people say, oh, you don't want to work. You know what? You want to cause your family trouble? Let there be a financial stress involved. And one thing I've learned about, my marriage was my wife she didn't want to know when the bills were going to pay. She didn't want to hear they were going to be paid at the end of the month. She wanted to know the first of the month.
Mm.
She wanted to know that this bill is going to be taken care of, and this bill. And I'd say, I'm going to go play golf, but I'll get back with you on that. And that's not a good thing. So for young people out there, come on, take care of your family.
I love that. So friends, can you see why I asked Scott to be in this book? Like just gem after gem after gem after gem. Okay, Scott, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a little game. So actually, let me get my timer. So we're going to play a little 1-minute game, and we're either going to do a lightning round or we're going to do hot potato. So if it's heads, you can call it in the air. We're going to see my flipping skills. If it's heads, we're going to play lightning. I just get to fire short answer questions at you. If it's tails, hot potato, I ask you a question, you answer it, you get to fire one right back. So here we go. Call it.
I want heads, and I'm pulling for lightning. Heads.
Tails, hot potato. Here we go. Okay, so I'll ask you a question, you answer, you fire one right back. So here we go.
All right, I'm ready.
1. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. Oh gosh. Hamburgers or hot dogs?
Hamburgers all the way, with probably bacon, mushrooms, and cheese. I know, extra. Let's go with favorite vacation spot.
The beach. The moment you knew you were in love.
Wow. This is supposed to be rapid fire questions. Moment I knew I was in love, when I was just excited being with my person, not doing anything, just being in his presence.
Okay.
What am I going to ask you? Favorite movie?
Armageddon.
Ooh, good movie. Good movie. Okay.
I love heroes. Greatest moment ever in soccer, your career?
Ooh, great question. There's been some highlights though. Okay, the first one that pops in my head would be NAIA championship final. We went through 5 overtime periods and then happened to score the winning goal, and we won the championship in my senior year. It was a pretty cool moment. Pretty cool moment. But there have been some other ones. There have been some other ones. I've been fortunate and blessed to be on some incredible teams over my career.
Life event though, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And the story behind it to get to that moment. So we're actually out of time. However, I want to end on a question for you. So rapid fire question. What are you most excited about for 2023, the rest of this year?
Helping people make their lives better. And because in the industry that we're in, the more you help others, the more you can do for your family. You obviously can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be the best thing I could possibly do.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Scott, for joining Bursts of Brilliance. I'm so thrilled, honored, and just so grateful for you for contributing to this book. Friends, Never Quit on a Bad Day is available on Amazon. Join our community. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. If you want to check us out, go to neverquitonabadday.com and you can register. We'll keep you in the loop of, fun stuff. It's all inspirational stuff. And you can even get a free preview chapter of the book. So Never Quit on a Bad Day. Scott, thank you for being you. Thank you for joining. And thank you for sharing your story of resilience.
Phoebe, I'm grateful to know you. I'm proud of you. And thank you for letting me be your friend.
Oh, thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon. Take care. Thanks, guys, for watching.